Wow, what an amazing view. And I truly hope you all feel as good as you look right now. My journey, the one that has led me to this incredible moment of graduation alongside my peers, for so long before was stricken with various adversities and limitations. And I'd like to take just a few moments and share with you some of those experiences that I've had up until this point. It was in my mother's personal struggles enduring abusive relationships while losing a battle against drug addiction that my siblings and I found ourselves trapped in this cycle of poverty that was just completely relentless. There wasn't a time I remember that we didn't receive various assistances through welfare programs, and we certainly would have had even harsher circumstances without them. And even with the assistance that was provided, we often came up short, and it was common that basic needs like food and weather-appropriate clothing were left unsatisfied. By the time I had turned 16, I was out of school permanently with an absolute need to work if I wanted to keep a roof over my head or have food to eat. And up until that point, I had attended a total of 10 different K through 12 schools. I had attended a different school almost every single year of grade school. And once officially removed, I would not again find myself with real access to academic resources for at least 13 years. At 18, thankfully, I had obtained a diploma, at least by way of GED, but I would again continue facing one hardship after another throughout my 20s. And meanwhile, with no discipline, no mentorship, support, or guidance, I was still delusionally waiting for some sort of white knight to come save me, or to experience some major life improvement despite not actually doing anything positive to improve my situation. I was lost and wandering about, and almost always feeling alone. Until May 9th, 2019, early that morning, I would receive a phone call, one unknown to me at the time, but one that would forever change the pathway of my life and lead me right here in front of you today. My mother had been a victim of an intentionally set fire that ultimately claimed the lives of 4 people. She was rescued from that fire by some incredibly brave and heroic firefighters, but it was not before she would receive serious burns that covered up to 70% of her body. She would fight to recover for almost 9 months, and it was during those months alongside her that these 3 giant light bulbs had finally went off for me, and I began looking at things in whole new ways. I found myself understanding the reality that there was no Superman coming to save me, and it really was going to be up to me to get things done. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, and I had no idea even how to really start. But for me, my strengths were going to grow by way of education. But how? I didn't have even some of those basic requirements needed for a university application. And the price tag that would be associated with such an institution was more than I could even fathom. And then, very unfortunately, on January 22nd, 2020, my mother would succumb to her injuries. And while trying to manage the grief and acceptance of the events that had occurred over my entire life, really, just 2 months later, COVID went on to shut the world down. What was I going to do now? Now, I certainly don't have to tell a single one of you about experiences had through this pandemic. But I am just so unbelievably grateful that RCBC made a way to make themselves accessible to us during such a chaotic and challenging time. It was this college and so many of the programs and organizations associated with our campus community that would all go on to provide me access to real opportunities and far beyond just academics. I knew that if I had any chance for this educational journey of mine to be successful, that I was going to really have to dig in and give it everything I had and more. And I really did give it my best attempt. I took every advantage of every opportunity that I could handle, in an effort to learn and grow. And now in these areas that I had never had access to before. And it is in those experiences and in those opportunities that this continuing access to so much real resource and support in academics, of course, but also my personal and professional developments as well. They began to provide many of those foundational core structures that I had been missing for so long. And I just want to say thank you to the many individuals and organizations whose efforts and commitments to providing all of this support, mentorship, and guidance, it has all continued to provide me resource, motivation, and confidence that I was lacking. I am truly grateful. Thank you. Now, throughout this journey, I've always known that I was not the only one going through a variation of struggles and challenges in their life. I've always deeply empathized and felt this sort of sense of duty to try and fulfill any sort of need that I could, hoping to just really help someone else improve their situations, even when I wasn't doing that for myself. I have felt this way and hope to provide support despite my own exhaustive list of needs. And there again, I found my local community college full of resource and opportunity that would allow me to participate in those club and community like-minded efforts where I found myself with multiple opportunities and support to develop in student leadership while earning my education. And now, as we have completed our programs and we are getting ready for these next moments to come, I have found myself not with just the access of a university simply being a possibility, but it is soon to become my actual reality. And the possibilities certainly do not stop there. My goals include working towards a master's degree or going to law school. I have these ambitions to continue seeking higher education with the hopes of having opportunities to research and really be a part of efforts to better understand those deep complexities, and while making effective attempts towards solving some of those root problems that are creating this repetition of hardship and adversity that so many people have to endure. And so it's with that to you, my peers, the Rowan College at Burlington County, class of 2022, I would like to leave these few but precious tools that I've been so grateful to receive along this journey of mine. Find strength in knowing that it is who you are right now, in this moment. That individual who remained committed and put in the efforts needed to be accomplished and successful. It is that person who gets to decide where you go from here and what goals that you get to accomplish. Use those incredible strengths and always make attempts to seek out continued resources and supports to refine your skills and direction. Be sure to surround yourselves with individuals who will lift you up, provide mentorship, and who are just genuinely happy for your success. These are the people that will go on to open windows of opportunity you couldn't even imagine. And along that pathway, while you're taking advantage of those opportunities to grow and learn, and not just as scholars or career-focused individuals, but as people too. Be sure to extend your reach where you can and provide any resource or level of support to someone else trying to find their own pathway. Not only will the fulfillment of doing for others motivate you to extend that reach even further, you will be making positive, lasting impact on those around you. You are driven, motivated, goal-oriented, and goal-accomplishing role models. Our communities need such dedicated and committed individuals like you. So find a sense of belonging in your community and use the skills and strengths that you have to make the world just a little kinder. You've all worked incredibly hard and have accomplished an amazing goal. You deserve to be proud, and I wish you all the absolute best, each in your own journeys, as you go on to create many more exciting and successful moments, just like this one that we have gotten to experience together. Congratulations, RCBC's class of 2022. We did it.